Hello guys, Svetlana Shlapak, the founder of ukvisasuccess.com is here. Today's video is all about the changes in UK immigration law, and as you will see, there are quite a few quite generous and positive changes. And before we start, I would like to give you a summary of what will be discussed in today's video. So let us begin.
Today is going to be an exciting video because we have a number of really interesting updates in the world of UK immigration law. So here is a summary of what we are going to cover in today's video. First of all, we'll talk about the Winrush compensation scheme and what steps the Home Office has taken in order to ensure that victims of the Winrush scandal are compensated accordingly. And the next topic will be about the employer's guide to rights to work to checks and what changes have been done and how this will affect the employers and how this will affect, most importantly, the EU nationals and their family members. Then we'll talk about the changes, if any, for those who would like to travel from one of the EU national countries, the students or pupils, but who are not EU nationals themselves. As you will see that they will retain the status quo until 1st of October 2021, which is amazing news for the pupils without the EU passports. Then we'll talk about the status of the EU national citizens, those who would like to join their EU national family members who were residing here in the UK with a settled or a pre-settled status. Then we'll briefly discuss a few changes which were announced with the statements of changes to immigration rules on 10th of December 2020. And then I'll explain the importance of the Social Security Child Benefits and Child Credit Regulations 2020. And then we'll talk about another piece of legislation which is called National Health Service Regulations 2020. And then I'll briefly discuss the very interesting document which was recently published, which is called 2025 UK Border Agency. And we'll finalize today's session about discussing where you can get further guidance and help with regards to various quite challenging to grasp at first rules of UK's new points-based immigration system. As you know, from 1st of January 2021, there will be tons of changes in the world of UK immigration law, and I've created a special playlist where I help you understand how to interpret all these rules. So let us begin with the first one, with the Winrush compensation scheme. The Home Office announced that they will make a significant reform to a Winrush compensation scheme, and they said that those who are affected by the Winrush scandal will get a minimum of £10,000 in compensation, which is approximately 40 times more than the minimum award which was previously available to victims of the Winrush scandal. And in addition to that, the Home Office has opened the £500,000 Winrush Community Fund for bids, and this will be administered by Voice for Change England. And what is going to happen, the organizations will be allowed to bid for up to £25,000 in order to ensure that those who were affected by the Winrush are aware of the support which will be available, and they are aware of the compensation which they will be entitled to if they can prove that they are entitled to apply under the Winrush compensation scheme. Okay, the next news is that the Home Office just published an employer's guide to right to work checks. And this is a pretty detailed guidance to the employers, where they talk about a number of things. They talk about severe sanctions to which the employers in the UK will be subjected to if they fail to adhere to the rules which were explained in this guidance. And this is a very well written guidance, and they explain here how to conduct the initial right to work checks and how to do the follow-ups, and also whether or not they have any appeal rights or the right to administratively review the decision if the Home Office for some reason decides that the employer did not comply with the obligation to do the checks. And also they have a very detailed guidance with regards to the list of documents which the employers will need to get from the EU nationals and also from family members of EU nationals, those who are not EU nationals themselves, and also what to do if they are employing someone in some specific categories, and also what to do when they're employing someone in general categories, and whether or not they need to do anything if they would like to ask someone to work with them voluntarily. And the employers may probably be slightly confused about the rights of EU nationals and Swiss nationals from 1st of January 2021. And the Home Office also covers this in their guidance, and they explain what to do or what not to do from 1st of January. And they do talk about the grace periods, and basically that everything remains as it was before until 30th of June 2021. Then they give an overview of the new routes under the points-based system, a very hot topic at the moment. And also they talk about temporary adjusted right to work checks during the coronavirus time. Very generous provisions there. And the Home Office also published guidance which is called Travel Facilities for Non-EU National School Pupils Residents in Member States. And what this guidance is about. First of all, they say that if someone is a pupil living in another member state, in another EU country, but those who are visa nationals themselves, they don't need to apply for any visas in order to travel to the UK until 1st of October 2021, provided they meet the following conditions. First of all, that they are legally residing in one of the EU member states, and also that they're traveling as a part of the organized school trip, and they only want to remain here in the UK for a short period of time. And this school is the general education school, and also this type of concession only applies to the state school, so it doesn't apply to special institutions. And also they say that the group must be accompanied by a teacher from the school, and the pupils' details and the purpose of their journey must be listed on the list of travelers form issued by the school. So very good news there for the pupils who are not EU nationals. And let us talk about the family members of EU nationals. So basically, those who were in existing relationship with an EU national, who was residing here in the UK with a settled or pre-settled status before 31st of December 2020 will be classified as joining family members, and they do exclude the extended family members. So they say that as long as you are a spouse in existing relationship, or someone who is a partner in durable relationship, or a child, you will be treated as someone in existing relationship, and you will be considered as joining a family member, and you will be able to join your EU nationals under the old provisions of the either Appendix EU or Appendix EU family permit. And if you'd like to know more, you're very welcome to visit my page, ukvisasuccess.com/more, where you'll be able to find more details about this particular category. And moving on to the statement of changes to the immigration rules, which was announced on 10th of December 2021. And you will notice that there were not that many changes, well, certainly not as many as there were in October 2020. And in this statement of changes, they clarified the circumstances in which asylum applications can be made, and also they enhanced their capacity to treat some asylum applications as inadmissible, and this is when a person who claimed asylum here in the UK traveled through a safe third country. So if we have someone who traveled via France and who was to claim asylum here, if they can prove, the Home Office can prove that the person traveled via France, they will effectively try and send this person back to France and encourage them to make their asylum claim there, because it will be considered as a third country. And also they've amended the visitors rules to allow international drivers to perform carriage of goods and passengers to the UK. So this is now going to be as part of the visitors immigration rules. Okay, so what are the social security, child benefits and child tax credit regulations 2020 are about? Well, about two major things. First of all, they announced the entitlement to some benefits and tax credits after 31st of December 2020 for EU nationals and their non-EU national family members. And also they've clarified the point about tax credits by saying that for the purposes of accessing universal credits, EU and EEA countries, as well as Turkey and Macedonia nationals, will not be treated as subjects to immigration control, because the rule is that those who are subject to immigration control are not entitled to get universal credits. But this is not so with regards to the EU, EA nationals and also nationals of Turkey and Macedonia. The next piece of legislation which I would like to discuss in this video is about paying the services for NHS, and they've created these regulations in order to allow the effective recovery of costs for NHS services. And in their explanatory notes, they say that they will be recovering costs for NHS from those from people who are not ordinary residents in the UK, guys. And I would like you to be really careful with this, and especially non-EU and national family members of EU nationals, because you need to be absolutely sure before deciding whether or not to have an operation or deciding whether or not to have a special treatment from the NHS. You need to ensure that you will be considered as an ordinary resident for the purpose of this particular regulation. National Health Service charges to overseas visitors regulation 2020, because sometimes it can be misleading. Okay, so what about this 2025 UK border strategy document? This document is about the vision for the UK border, and they say that the 2025 UK border strategy document sets out vision for the UK border, and they would like it to be the most effective in the world. And they say that a border which embraces innovation, simplifies processes for traders and travelers, and improves the security and biosecurity of the UK. So they have intention of working in partnership with the border industry and users of the border to design, deliver and innovate around the border. And also they're talking about a long-term target operating model, TOM, for the border that describes the border they have an intention of creating. And also there will be major transformations that govern an industry, and they intend to deliver all of this by 2025. It is a very interesting document. I strongly recommend, if you have some spare time, just to go through this. And it is very interesting how they're going to implement this and how this is going to be transformed and improved within time. And I did promise that I'll finalize this video by showing you where you can get further information about the UK's new post immigration system. First of all, guys, I would like to say that the new 2021 system, which will come into place, and we've already seen some changes, some transformations at the end of 2020, and this will affect all the changes will affect the rights of EU citizens and also the visitors, those who would like to study or work in the UK. families wishing to join their loved ones here in the UK, and those who would like to apply for indefinite to remain, those who would like to claim asylum, and also there will be changes to the appeal system, as well as someone who wants to travel for other purposes to the UK. So if you'd like to know more, you're very welcome to first of all check my YouTube channel, and also to visit this page, ukvisasuccess.com/more, and explore this particular page, where I provide you with tons of free resources which will allow you to understand how various rules work. And I will in the 2021 I will cover all areas of UK immigration law, just to ensure that you are fluent and you understand perfectly well how everything is intended to work. And for now, my friends, I would like to wish you an amazing week.